To get started with our pattern making program, we're going to be using Gerber software, and it looks like this. It says pattern design and it has the scissors on it. There are multiple Gerber programs, but right now we're just going to be working with the one with scissors that is the pattern making software. So double click on that. Yours might be in a different place on the screen. There we go. It takes a minute to get started. And now I've got it all in the screen. And I'm leaving this over on the side well, I can cover that up. Okay, so this is what the pattern making screen looks like, and I just want to go over colors and introduction with this one. Try to come in this week and get your area set up. Choose your computer station and put a piece of paper on the keyboard or tape it above the screen with your name on it, so it will end up where you sit for the whole semester. Right now we're planning on just using the computers in the room until, if any of you decide you want to do it at home. I know we all want to do it at home, but that might end up costing a little bit of money, so we'll come back to that. So this is my pattern making table. These little dots are set up in inches, so they're all an inch apart. And all of these tabs up here, it's like a standard Windows ribbon, but it's not Windows. So I can start with File and go to Open, and it automatically brings up my area on the C drive. So I'm in C drive. I named it Cinderella. I tend to change every semester, so I'm going to go to Cinderella. We also have the option of the P drive. So, okay, we're going to go to the P drive. And in the P drive, we're going to start in zero share. And we're in pieces. We could change that to picking up models, which is a piece list, but right now we're going to stay in piece, and I'm going to double click on zero share. So you may be watching this at home, but the best way to do this is to come in, check in at the front desk, and maybe make sure before you get here that there's space for you to come in and that there's no reason for the building to be shut down. But I'm going to have a sign-up sheet so that you can sign up for the same day at the same time during the week, and that will be Tuesday through Friday. Tuesday through Thursday, the building is open till 9:30, and on Fridays it closes at 4. So the best thing to do is to open this little YouTube video in the corner of your screen where you can watch it while you're doing your homework. And then you can replay it as many times as you want to, and I will repeat things occasionally. So, zero share, I'm going to slide the little bar all the way over to the Z section. And in the Z section, we're going to open up the bodice front and back. I'll pick up the skirt while I'm at it, but Z puts it all the way at the end so you can always find it. F13 stands for Form 13. Size 8 bodice back, same for bodice front. And then a little further over we have the skirt front and skirt back and the sleeve. So I'm going to come back here and highlight my back and then push the Shift key just like you do in Windows. And I'm also going to get my Now I'm going to switch to pushing the Control key button and get my skirt front, back, and sleeve. So there they are. I've got my pieces, and if I touch the first one, then I just bring down one and it fills the screen because of the way my settings are. I need to get my monitor fixed. You may not notice this by the time it gets to YouTube, but right now it's kind of weird looking. It's long and skinny. If I want to highlight all of the pieces at once and then touch them again with my left mouse button, my pointer finger, then they'll all come down together. And so I'm hovering over them with my mouse, just moving the mouse around, and the one that, if I were to touch it, is highlighted. If I want to zoom in and out, I can use, well, I'll do that after I get them arranged. So if you touch it and then release it, you can pick it up and set it down. So I've got my left finger on the left mouse button, and then I hover over it and I touch and lift and it moves. And then when I want to put it back down, I just touch the button and again and it sets back down. That actually takes some practice. So I'm kind of aligning them the way they would be sewn together. When you're doing your homework, it is easier if you line them up with the side seams together, not the center, front, and back, because they don't sew to each other. So those are my pieces, and if I want to zoom in on them, if I just keep the mouse button here, I'll only zoom in on the skirt. And I'm rolling on the little roller tab. The front desk should also be giving you wipes to wipe off your screen, your mouse and your keyboard. If I move my mouse over here where it's close to the edge and I zoom in with it, then I can control where it's zooming based on where I am with my pointer. That will take a little bit of practice too. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to move a dart just so that you kind of see what's happening. This is a designated pattern making program. It's not like Adobe Illustrator or CAD. It's a dedicated pattern program. There are a few others that you might like using, but this one is my favorite. This one is like a Mac for making patterns, and Tukatek is more like a PC. And Clo, it looks pretty, but I wouldn't want to make patterns on it. Okay, so if I rotate this dart over to the shoulder, I would come up here to Advanced, and then along the bottom to Darts, and up to Manipulate, and click the down arrow and choose Rotate Dart. And then over here in black it says Select Dart to Rotate. So I'm going to do that over just so that you can follow it better. I go along the top to the Advanced tab, click on that, and then I'm looking for Darts, and then Manipulate, Rotate. So Advanced, Darts, Rotate. Select the dart to rotate. So when the computer's talking to you, it's giving you instructions over here. I'm choosing this dart to rotate it. It's highlighted in red because I've chosen it. The rotation point location it's asking for next is the bus point that I have marked for you. And these patterns specifically fit the dress form in our room. And you can't take the form out of the classroom, but you can try things on it, and you'll take pictures on the dress form of your clothes, front, back, and side, and that will be part of turning in your homework. Alright, select the hold line. I usually use the center front or center back. And the opening point, over here it says select the opening point, so I'm going to touch on the line where I want the dart to be, and it gives me a little box. and then the internal lines that are moving. This piece only has the grain line as an internal line. This piece has a different dart option that are internal lines, but there are no internal lines to move, but you still have to say OK where it says select internal lines to move and selection to continue. Where it says end selection to continue, that means say OK, because that's how it knows you've read what it says. So as soon as you read it, you say OK. So now it says to select a new position for the dart tip, and this can move in and out. And I'm just going to eyeball it. I want it the same distance this direction as the bus point to the dart is over here. So when I've chosen it, I'm just going to set it down. And there are more options with that, but for now, that's the one we're going to keep it simple. So that was rotating a dart in a dedicated pattern making program. And I'm going to say cancel to get out of that so that the screen disappears. So I'm going to come up and show you how to select your environment. We're going to need to rename these pieces if you're going to do anything with it or save them. So please don't save them right now, or it will overwrite all of the pieces it will overwrite the pieces where you copied them from. So we'll need to change their names. So we're going to come up to Edit. And in the Edit tab, we're going to start with User Environment. And the User Environment lets you choose Imperial or Metric. You can work with either one, but most of your assignments, well, all of your assignments are going to be in Imperial, so I recommend sticking with that. You can have 3 decimal places or 2 decimal places. You can also have metric. I just said that, didn't I? Okay, so if you accidentally have metric, I'm showing this to you so that you will recognize it when you're accidentally in metric, and I close this and say Save Changes. All of my points got closer together because this is in centimeters now, and they're closer to 1/2 inch than an inch. And you can tell that it's metric by the size and by the fact that it says MET right here for metric. And if I make changes to these pieces that are in inches in metric, it will corrupt them and make a mess. So I don't recommend that. So come up to User Environment again and choose Imperial. And because I haven't changed them, it will be okay. And then I can click on the Save button in here, or I can close it and it will ask me if I want to save it. So check this to make sure you're in Imperial. The next thing you want to do when you sit down at the screen is in Edit also. You're going to come over to Workplace Customize, click the down arrow, and choose Preferences. And in Preferences, the first place I like to go is Paths. That's the one that you'll need the most. You want to make sure that your storage device is set to C for now. Your storage area, you can just use a name that's on the computer if there is one. If not, you can choose, there will always be a data 90, so you can choose that temporarily. And I'll show you how to put your name in. The notch table is P notch. Make sure that it says T no grade here at the bottom. So you're in the C drive. You'll eventually have your name, P notch, T no grade. And the rest of these you won't need to do anything with. So say apply and then save so that it's permanent and you'll have less problems. And then say OK. So now when I store if I save these pieces, instead of going back to the P drive where we got them, they'll go to your C drive. Before I do anything with the pieces though, if I wanted to save them in my C drive, we'll do more of this later, but if this were my homework assignment and I had moved the Dart, I would come up to File, Save As, and I have one right here. I also have one here. You may or may not. So I'm going to choose this piece, and I'm going to save it in Cinderella. But before, well, I don't want to overwrite that one. Can I write over it right now? And say save? Okay, so this piece, when I hover over it now, it says Louise Front. That's my front. And if I want to, I can put this piece up in the work area now. So I'm going to right click. Instead of my left button, I'm going to right click on the right button. Oh, well, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so that happened because this had writing in it, and now that it's gone, I can right click over the piece and it will say piece to menu, and that piece with my name on it has gone up into the menu. So while you're here, you're going to want to save all of these pieces into your C drive with your name. So I'm going to go back to File, Save As, select the piece to save as, and I'm going to leave bodice back on it and just put my name on it. Or you can use your initials. And then right click on the, well, we'll do all of them. And this one's the skirt back. I'm going to put my name on that. And this one, I'll save that one too. Okay, so now I can right click. Oh, see, I've got writing here. I need to say OK so that it's gone. And then when I right click on the piece, I can say piece to menu. Piece to menu to all of them. And now I've got them all. Oh, want to get the sleeve too, don't we? So I'm just going to slide this over and the sleeve will appear. So File, Save As. And your name, and then save. So you can tell which one it is that you've got based on what's written down here at the bottom. And I'm going to cancel out of that and right click on it and say piece to menu again. So now I can bring down all of the pieces, and you can only see 3 of them. So if I click this arrow over here, the rest of them will appear. Now I can highlight all of these, and if I make changes to these, then they're mine. I'm not going to overwrite the pieces in another storage area, and you've got them all saved on your C drive or your temporary C drive. So that's a good place to stop this one, and we'll start again in a minute, or as soon as you're ready, I guess, since you're in charge.